Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another great episode of What Gets You Fired Up, the podcast where we bring lots of great people to share their stories, share their struggles, but also share what gets them fired up to move on, especially when everything goes against them. Today, we have a very, very special guest today with on What Gets You Fired Up. It's David Meltzer, and I'll give you a quick introduction about David because he's a great person, and we met in person as well. And the energy that brings, it's unbelievable. So David Meltzer is the chairman of the Napoleon Hill Institute and formerly served as the CEO of the renowned Lee Stein Sports and Entertainment Agency, which was the inspiration for the movie Jerry Maguire, which we all know exactly how great that movie was. So he is globally recognized entrepreneur, investor, and top business coach. And I know that from a fact because like I said, I met David before. Variety magazine has also recognized David as their sports humanitarian of the year and has been awarded with the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. So the guest speaker we have today, it's a great person. And he's also an executive producer of the Apple TV series 2 Minutes Drill and Office Hours, as well the entrepreneur's #1 digital business show, Elevator Pitch, where David brings unmatched insights to the audiences worldwide. His journey has been featured in books, movies, TV, including World Greatest Motivators, Think and Grow Rich, which is one of my favorite, and Netflix Beyond the Secret. His life mission, and you need to listen to this, is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. Yes, you heard that right, 1 billion people. And this simple yet powerful mission has led him on an incredible journey to provide one thing: value, which is something that lots of people forget. They always go for the sale, but David comes with the value. So in all his content and communication, that's exactly what you will receive. David, welcome to the show.
Christian, thank you for having me and assisting me on my mission of empowering over 1 billion people to be happy by teaching them to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun.
Awesome. Listen, it's been a pleasure to have you. And I'm gonna open with one question, which is very, very important. You gone from a millionaire to bankrupt and back to even greater success. But before we dive in, I want to ask you a simple question. What genuinely gets you fired up every single morning to come back and just provide that value that we all know you have in you?
Faith. Faith is what gets me fired up because faith incorporates gratitude to find the light, the love, and the lessons, forgiveness to make mistakes and forgive others for making mistakes, accountability to learn from what I did to be responsible to attracting it to myself, to participating in perceptions that are interfering with my faith, with something bigger than me that's protecting me, promoting me, loving and perfecting me at all times. Because most of our lives, let's be honest, it's difficult to get fired up because the evidence that we have each and every day is not aligned with where we want to be or better. Most of the time, it's actually contrary. It's conflicting with where we want to be or better. And so if you don't have faith in something bigger than you, that loves you more than your mom, it's difficult to get fired up.
Yes, no, I totally agree. And I know so many times people forget this great thing, which is faith. We all want different things. We won't want many things, but we forget where everything comes from, which is within. So if you don't believe in yourself and you don't have faith, how can you succeed, right?
Yeah.
But you are now the chairman of the Napoleon Hill Institute, the home of Think and Go Rich. You know, it's one of the most amazing books that I read, and I know that there are millions of people out there that they're gonna agree with me. But
Hundreds of millions.
sorry, um, how did that role find you, and what does it mean for you to carry that legacy forward? Because it's a heavy legacy to carry, right?
Yeah, very heavy. It started when I was 19 years old and I read Think and Grow Rich, and it changed and planted a seed in my perspective.
Mm.
And throughout my life, engaging in Think and Grow Rich again and again, doing Think and Grow Rich, the movie, the book, then participating with Bob Proctor, my mentor, in Think and Grow Rich, and then getting exposed with Sharon Lechter to Outwitting the Devil in 2011, my favorite book of all time, written by Napoleon Hill. And so, as I got more and more involved in the lessons and the legacy of Napoleon Hill, and gave all that I could towards the foundation, the Institute asked me to be the chairman to guide us into this age of technology so that we can preserve, capture, modify, amplify, and perpetuate one of the seminal thought leaders of all time, Napoleon Hill.
I know. I mean, it's a legacy within a legacy, right? Because you're creating your own legacy by looking to help 1 billion people to be happy. And what's the best way to do it? By just providing those valuable tools like the books. And speaking on the books, because we have a really nice book coming out, right? And the name it's something with, yeah, exactly, it's right there. And it's the name itself, it's, are afraid to be direct, but the new book, Don't Do Business with Dicks, it just tells you exactly what everybody should avoid. So
Yeah,
you need, yeah, sorry, you
go
go.
ahead. Oh, finish your question. I apologize.
Yes. No, no, you're fine. So your new book is boldly titled Don't Do Business with Dicks." I love it. What was the moment that made you say, this book has to be written and this is the title that I'm gonna put in?
Well, I had to write the book, which was different than the title. The book was supposed to be titled How to Ditch Toxicity from Our Lives,
Mm,
how to surround ourselves with positive influences, which is more aligned with the other books connected to goodness, compassionate capitalism, unstoppable, creating the life you love, game time decision making.
yeah.
But the publisher said, Dave, those book titles don't sell. People don't look at the title and say, I got to read that. You can't sell a secret. And if your mission is to empower over 1 billion people with these ideas, to help people change the way they look at things so that things they look at change, you better put some great packaging and messaging. And so I got a little bit bold and a little controversial and not aligned with the inside of the book, which is about how to ditch toxicity, how to surround yourself with positive influences. But you can't sell a secret. And I can tell you that this title sells. More people are buying the book and getting into really good positive mojo because that title has enticed them, stimulated them to buy the book. And people, every time they see someone reading the book, other people buy the book because regardless of whether it's offensive to you or not, everybody has
Attracts
had this
attention.
problem. Everybody's done business with an asshole, a dick, a jerk, whatever you want to say. So don't let the title scare you away. Let it entice you to surround yourself with positive influence and positivity. Ditch that toxicity from your life.
Yes, yes, and it's great because, going back to Napoleon Hill, we both know that the original title of Think and Grow Rich was not even close to what it was, and it was not even close to something that people probably like, what's this all about? So they will move away. So I love the boldness. And most of the people know that they are in a toxic business relationship, but stay anyway. What's the real reason people tolerate the wrong people, the wrong places, the wrong opportunities, and how do they break that pattern? How do they move away from that?
Well, that's a great question. And first of all, I use time as a dependent variable. So we're never in a position where we can break away from all negativity, all negative influences. We have to evaluate it during a criteria of one, the relativity of the negativity,
Mm,
the association of the negativity, and the feeding and bleeding that is caused from negativity. Because remember, not all negativity just bleeds us. Sometimes negativity feeds us. My mom at the end of her life got very sick, and it was a lot of negativity. It was a lot of bleeding that was feeding me. One of the most fulfilling and purposeful times in my life was to be able and capable of supporting my mom at the end of her life.
yeah.
And so I think it's really important to understand that there's always negative forces. If you read Dr. Hawkins' Force in the force and counterforce, this powerful idea that with every positive is a negative, and we just have to actually spend more time on the positive and have an evaluation process to make sure that we're spending minutes and moments around the negativity. And if something's too negative, we absolutely want to fire it from our lives. But very rarely is that necessary. Most of the time, it's just being cognizant of how much time am I spending interfering with where I want to be or better.
Yes, no, I love that. And the fact that you acknowledge that negativity is always going to be part of what we do. And, we're going to lose people, and especially the dear ones, and we're going to lose people on or things on so many ways. But you call this a practical field guide. What's the number one practical tool in this book that someone can use it, let's say this week, to audit who they are and what they are in their business?
Well, my mom told me when you catch on fire, you need to stop, drop, and roll. And so the book tells you when you're around negativity and your mind, body, and soul are on fire,
Hmm.
you got to stop, breathe, drop, remind, remember, recollect with your faith, with your source, with your God, and then roll into your divine direction. So instead of resisting negativity, trying to go over it, under it, through it, around it, lie to it, cheat it, manipulate it, deny it, just stop, just
Yes,
drop, and just roll.
I love that. And I love the three you mentioned before, that you need to realign and reenact and do that every time you feel out of your integrity, if you want to call it this way. So that's where the relationship with circumstances is getting created. And you talk a lot about this, people's relationship with circumstance. What's the difference between someone who uses their circumstances as fuel versus someone who let circumstances define and defeat them rather than, define the whole journey for them?
Well, the common denominator of every single guarantee that God gives us, the 24 hours a day that He guarantees us every day of our life, except for the last day, this circumstances can drive us either towards or interfere with where we want to be. And
Mm,
so, understanding our behaviors and how they align with the circumstances of the day. And one of the things that I teach people in the book to do is to have non negotiable behaviors, non circumstantial behavior. So, no matter what the circumstances are, I'm going to spend a minimum amount of time on my sleep, on my family, on my health, on my faith, on my finance, and actually studying time and studying the relativity, the meaning of that time. And then get better at prioritizing what's important according to the circumstances of the day. And one of the nuances that I talk about in the book, beyond aligning with circumstances of the day, is aligning the meaning of the past. You see, so many of us limit our self image by the mistakes, failures, setbacks, defining moments, historical relevances of our past. And if we limit our self image, we will never overachieve our own self image. So not only must we align where we want to be and what we want with the circumstances of the day, but we should align the meaning of the past, the failures, mistakes, and setbacks as well. And when we do that and align both the past, the present, and the future in a divine direction, we will make a lot of money. We will help a lot of people and we will have a lot of fun. And there's nobody out there making a lot of money, helping a lot of people, and having a lot of fun that isn't happy.
I know, and you're one of them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and I love that, and I love the fact that I know how you operate because I've seen you in action, and I observe and follow your journey for quite a few years now, and I know how well you master yourself rather than the time because lots of people are looking to master their time where we like you said we all have 24 hours but it's how we master ourselves. And I had a great conversation with my friend and your friend now, Richie Dolan, yesterday, and he was saying, listen, I've seen David doing so many things during that conference that I was like, this is something else. And this is what I know how you operate because I've seen it happen. And when you went bankrupt, most of people would let that to be their story. is I'm done. I'm beaten. But how did you reframe that circumstance into foundation of everything you have built since? Because it's not easy.
Yeah, well, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And
Mm.
so I started at the basics, which was if I could look up, I could get up. And understanding I had to get up every day and understanding the lesson that's behind me here to my other side, which says you're either humble or you're about to be.
Yes.
And so, you could take the meaning of bankruptcy and consider it to be punishment, or give it a meaning like I did of promotion, protection, love, and perfection.
Mm.
And although there was no evidence that day when I lost everything, including my mom's house, when the only reason I wanted to be rich was to buy her that house,
Yeah,
there was no evidence that I would make more money, help more people, and have more fun with my life than ever, that it would save not only my marriage, but it would save my life. There was no evidence that day.
mm.
But I told myself that day that I would look up, I would get up, I would see what I wanted in alignment with my divine direction, who could help me and who I could help, and start figuring out how to get to where I wanted to be or better, and start prioritizing my behaviors, non negotiable, non circumstantial, circumstantial, negotiable, because I knew that prioritization was the antidote.
Yes,
It was the antidote to the two things that would destroy my future: procrastination or feeling overwhelmed. And it's impossible when you prioritize to procrastinate, and it's impossible to feel overwhelmed.
I know. Yes, and that's so right. I love that answer, and I love how it's surrounded. Everything that you do is surrounded around your family, around your legacy, which is projecting things out there. And I want to ask you, for my audience, property investors, entrepreneurs, all these people that are facing some tough market conditions right now, and you look at the rising cost, the uncertainty. Some people don't understand that AI is here to stay and grow, and we should embed it rather than be afraid of. But what's your fired up message about navigating those difficult circumstances right now? Because, not everybody's getting in that mindset where they are going through, let's say, bankruptcy or a breakup or something like that. There is nothing there to push them except the business. What would be that message from you to them to keep them fired up all the time?
Yeah, the message is simply take inventory every day of your skills, your knowledge, and your desire. Take inventory of your skills, your knowledge, and desire. See where the synergies and see how supplementary your capabilities are to what's doing well today with AI or other things, what's stable today, and what you think will be doing well in the future. And the better you align your skills, knowledge, and desire with what's stable, what's doing well today, and what you think is doing well in the future, everybody else's opinion doesn't matter. You will increase your efficiency, your effectiveness, and your statistical success.
Awesome. I love that. And I love there are three things all the time in everything all your answers and everything you do. It's a mindset, it's the success, and it's the legacy. So those three things are very connected with your legacy, but also the torch that you keep uh, alive for Napoleon Hill's legacy. And his core message was that thoughts become things. And
Yes.
you, as a chairman of the institute, how do you make that philosophy relevant and practical for yourself, but also for today's entrepreneurs and investors?
Well, it's quite easy. There's a mathematical formula that Think and Grow Rich has taught me.
Mm.
What you pay attention to, what you focus in on, plus what you give your five levels of intention to. What you do aligned with your divine direction. What you say aligned with your divine direction. What you think aligned with your divine direction. What you believe aligned with what you in your divine direction. And finally, what you feel. And when we are conscious and cognizant and paying attention, plus giving intention to these five levels of things, it will equal the coincidences, the coinciding, the materialization, the things, the monetization of all matter. And so I want people up there to realize that if you pay attention plus give intention, it'll equal the coincidences, the coinciding of the universe. A modern day Napoleon Hill philosophy and perspective that will change your life. In fact, I want to make sure that everybody in your community, anyone that would like you order this book, let me know, David at dmeltzer.com. Don't have to prove it to me. Just tell me, yep, I got your book. I will send you that book behind Christian. I'll sign it, send it to you, pay for shipping and the book for free. So you'll get two books for the price of one. Learn connected to goodness. Don't do business with dicks. And I'm happy at David at dmeltzer.com to provide that to your entire community.
Love it, because I was just about to ask how we can say that to people so they know. But I love the five principles you said, and around that you build your platform on four very clear principles. One is gratitude, one is empathy, because you always connect with other people, you keep them accountable and you keep yourself accountable, and also you have that effective communication, which is so hard. I mean, we have so many people talking out there, but they don't really say much. But when you come with like short, concise, clear. Which one do you think is like, do you think most successful people are secretly worst at, and why? Which one do you think out of these four?
Oh, the people don't understand effective communication. They don't communicate with something bigger than them and let it go through you. Most people are victims. Everything happens to them. Some people think that everything happens for them.
Mm.
But the truth is that the essence of inspiration, at the essence of a paradigm shift, not I'm going to be happy when, but for the sake of what? And what am I doing to interfere with it? I am happy already. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am worthy. What am I doing to interfere with it? The most important of all of them, of course, is gratitude. The easiest and fastest way to change your life is to say thank you before you go to bed. Say thank you when you wake up. It's
Yeah.
free. It takes zero point 0.1 seconds. But always remember the simple things to do are simple not to do. And all of us should be doing a lot more gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and effective communication. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be on your show, Christian. Any last thoughts or questions for me?
Yes, I was just saying, like, you always give the book for free, and now you give another one. And what's the core message? Let's say if you put the two books before we close this, and why do you give it for free? Because lots of people is looking to make money. If somebody is listening right now, is feeling stuck, surrounded by the wrong people, and wondering if that moment has passed, what
Yeah.
would be the single most fired up message directly to them connecting with those two books?
Look, the message is this: there's an infinite loop of abundance. We live in a world of more than enough of everything for everyone. I want people to give more so that they're given more and they use gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability to see all that they're given. But even more importantly, I want them to receive more. I want them to know that when you receive, you are giving someone a great gift, because when others are able and capable of helping us, when others are able and capable of helping, they're closest to God, they're closest to their highest self. And when you don't receive, you are cheating them.
Hmm.
You are actually cheating them of their higher self. And then finally, I want you to institute the idea, the faith that there's more than enough by asking for more than enough. So instead of pretending to give more and receive less, and I promise you, if you give more and receive less, you're going to end up at zero. It's a zero sum game.
Yes.
I want you to learn from all of my books that we give more, we're given more, we receive more, and we ask for more than more so we can give more than more, be given more than more, receive more than more, and ask for more than more than more. So instead of ending up at zero, we're going to end up empowering over 1 billion people in a world of more than enough of everything for everyone. I promise you. Please email me for those books, David at dmeltzer.com. David means beloved. D is my first initial. Meltzer means servant. David at dmeltzer.com. Christian, thank you so much for having me on your show.
David, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time, and looking forward to see you in person again. Have a
Me
great, blessed
too.
day. Thank you.
Thank you.